I knew OJ for a while. I remember the low-speed chase up and down the freeway and things like that. And I also remember everyone's opinion of that low-speed chase and of OJ and what had happened. It's a sad period of time that was and still is because of the loss of lives. And people are, their opinions are very, very strong one way or another.
Still to this day.
Oh yeah, and forever will be, because of what happened and because of who it happened to. I remember being called by the station that morning to tell me what happened. And I know that there were different industries around town that were very, very upset, like where he played golf. The golfers did not want to have anything else to do with him after that. So I will say this, there's not a lot of sympathy from a lot of people in the general public because of what happened. The feelings are very strong, the feelings are very negative, and the feelings are very lasting.
Can I just ask what it was like for you? I mean, you've seen a lot of things in Los Angeles. This really did change race relations in America, or maybe brought them to the fore. Maybe I shouldn't say it changed them. It brought them to the fore, race relations, views on the criminal justice system, on the civil justice system, and how we make TV with watching chases, how America was just glued to these characters, this story, this plot line that was unfolding.
Controversy always creates curiosity. And that's what that was, and that's what this is, and it will always be. And those kinds of things attract, get your attention and make you wonder. Some people watch for different reasons. Some people watch because it is a story. Some people watch because they know the people that are involved. Some people watch because of the quote unquote, the visibility of what's going to happen. It's a shame that it's like that. But there's this saying, it is what it is, and that's what happened here.
Well, you know, it's so interesting. Being a sports fan myself and having so many different sports figures that we talk about, we lift these people up in such a huge way. And OJ was one of these people that America celebrated. He was, you know, as a football player, right, before any of this happened. You hadn't really seen someone like him, where he went from the football field. Now you look at the Travis Kelce's of the world who cross over, and now he's hosting a game show. But OJ went from being a Hall of Fame football player, you know, up for the Heisman Trophy, all these awards in different areas of football. But then he goes on to make 20 movies. You know, he's part of pop culture. He's part of, you know, being a pitch man. And we bought things or wanted to align with companies because of him. Can you just talk about that period of time and then what it was like for you to see just such a shift in people's minds of who he was?
Sports is something that we all can relate to. It's so exciting. Just look at, you know, you get the Super Bowl coming, we got the Masters coming, and those kinds of things. And when you think about those events, you think about the individuals who are participating in those events. And those individuals who participate and they have an outstanding performance, they're put up on a pedestal. And they get commercial endorsements and things like, and they should. Some people take advantage of those situations. Others just kind of accept it as a part of life. This is a very sad story because of the lives that were lost here. Many people have many different things to say about it. It's just, I remember it, and I remember it with great sadness because of the lives, as I mentioned, that were lost. But when you attract a lot of attention and a lot of publicity, there's a lot of curiosity, and then along with that comes a lot of commercial endorsements. And when you have that, sometimes that makes people feel that they are better than maybe somebody else. And we're just talking pure facts right here. We're all the same. And when you look back on this tragedy, it is sad. It is really sad, and it should make us all think about how we conduct our lives every day with our fellow mankind.
All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate your perspective.